Hi, this is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. This is a quick tropical update on this Friday, June 24th. The National Hurricane Center is watching an area of disturbed weather way out there in the tropical Atlantic. As a matter of fact, let me circle that with my cursor right here. You can see that area right out here in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, I'm going to go over to GeoCollaborate to show you where that system may move over the next 5 days. This is the area of interest that the National Hurricane Center is watching. It is a tropical wave. It looks rather robust, as a matter of fact, at the moment. And it looks like this system is going to take a pretty westward track and perhaps enter into the Caribbean Sea by mid next week. There is a chance, a 60% chance, that this system could become a depression by that time. Now, we've connected with Jim Williams down in Louisiana. He's the private sector liaison and coordinator there. And I asked him just a few minutes ago, given the All Hazard Consortium SISE playbook, we're in phase zero. As a matter of fact, less than phase zero. When we talk about phase zero, it's between between 4 and 7 days away from impacting land. And we're well beyond that. It's at least 7 days, perhaps even 10 days out. But I had a chance to catch up with Jim just a few minutes ago to ask him, what does that mean for him in Louisiana and how are they preparing? I appreciate, Jim, you joining us today here for just a moment because you've been a part of All Hazards Consortium for a while now and have been through really a number of storms over the last couple of years. Just wondering if you could tell me, in this particular phase, you have a wave out there in the Atlantic Ocean. What are you guys doing right now to prepare?
Yeah, thanks for calling, Dave. So right now, we're monitoring all of the approved weather sources, and we start looking at those spaghetti models that are out there that could show potentially whether or not it's in the Gulf or has impacts in the Gulf. And so we monitor it very closely, and then we start exercising some of our communication networks. So like for me with the business EOC, I'll start reaching out to my contacts in different industries to make sure that, because things change, people move around, and make sure that I have, current contacts with people, and to make sure that they know that something is potentially out there. Sometimes we get overcome by, the news cycle, but we really need to keep our eyes way far out there. And with this Invest, I think it's Invest 94, is what it's being called. It's probably about 7 to 10 days out from being, potentially something that could be in the Gulf of Mexico. So we're watching it closely and seeing where it could potentially go, and then just kind of leaning forward in the blocks. As you noted, we the last two hurricane seasons have been pretty rough for coastal Louisiana, and so we just want to make sure that that we're being as prepared as we can as a state.
Well, that makes sense, Jim. I appreciate that. And how close to the storm does the storm, if it becomes a storm, whether it's a depression, a tropical storm, or even a hurricane, how close does it have to get for you to really say, okay, we're jumping into action here?
Okay, so for me personally, anything that comes in the area south of Cuba has a tendency to enter into the Gulf. And the normal steering currents are, when something gets into the Gulf, that it's gonna head to potentially to Louisiana. So we'll go forward from there and see where we are in the potential strike zone.
Well, that certainly does make sense, and we hope that doesn't happen. Jim, I really appreciate you joining us for this. This is the phase zero, where the storm or the disturbance or the wave is way out in the Atlantic. As the system gets closer and perhaps has some more development to it, maybe we'll get back to you and see what's happening maybe around midweek next week. That sound good?
Sounds good, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate it. And that was Jim Williams with the state of Louisiana. We'll be monitoring this and other tropical activity throughout the season. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. Thanks for watching this quick tropical update for the sensitive information sharing environment fleet response working group. We'll keep you posted starting probably about midweek next week. Have yourself a good weekend.